Our next speaker from the English department is Luke Herzog, and the name of his speech is From the Top.
What would you think if you read this headline in tomorrow's newspaper? Casey Affleck assassinates president. That's essentially the news that Americans woke up to on April 15th, 1865. Famous actor John Wilkes Booth, usually overshadowed by his celebrity older brother, renowned thespian Edwin Booth, had killed the commander-in-chief, Abraham Lincoln. In the 21st century, we tend to forget just how absurd that night was. It had a ridiculous meta quality. A president shot dead by an actor in a theater during a play that actor had previously starred in. I mean, you can't write this stuff. But I took a crack at it anyway. For my English senior thesis, I wrote a full-length stage play composed of a series of vignettes, each featuring peripheral figures from the Lincoln assassination. I titled the play From the Top, a reference to both theater and Honest Abe's iconic hat. But I wasn't interested in telling the story we all know. In fact, Lincoln doesn't even appear in my play. Instead, I was fascinated by the forgotten true stories. For example, a 19-year-old understudy who performed that night actually lived long enough to star as Abraham Lincoln in a silent film. Here's another. Believe it or not, the US government staged a fake dumping of Booth's corpse in the Potomac River. Here's one more. That night, Lincoln's bodyguard wandered off during intermission to the same bar where Booth was working up his courage. So I imagined a conversation in which the bodyguard unknowingly convinces Booth to go through with it. And also, my play features one recurring scene to glue all these vignettes together. Another true story. Only 10 days after the shooting, an officer forced the cast to restage their play in order to work out a timeline of who was where when. That month in America, it wasn't safe for actors to walk the streets. Every performer in Ford's Theater was a suspect, a potential co-conspirator. After all, many of them knew the assassin personally. So, this unprecedented scenario became my play's connective tissue. Traumatized actors interrogated as they performed, an encore under duress. And this was perfect because at its core, my play is about meta-theatricality, performance, on and off stage. Not just the actors, but the politicians, the reporters, the soldiers, the members of the audience that night. Everyone had a role to play. Yes, individuals can change the course of history, not just rogues like Booth, also underappreciated figures backstage. But at a time when it's easier than ever to feel like a bystander to history, hopefully my thesis can encourage us all to be active participants in it. Because, like it or not, we're on the cast list. Thank you.